again. Right, so I don't know if you can see the stack that's rather precariously sat there, but yeah, so this is now my shopping from the knitting and stitching show that I went to at Alexandra Palace yesterday. So my mum went as well. Some of these bits are actually hers. A couple of these bits are, well, I would say hers in the loosest sense. There's stuff that she thought was pretty and was like, oh, I'd like to do that. And then she bought it and then was like, yeah, maybe you could do that for me. So yeah, so but we'll see how we get on. So I've got my coffee that quite nicely appeared, and we'll get started. So like I said, I'll try and keep the order the same, so I'll go through all the stitchy stuff and then the knitting and crochet stuff at the end. So it's not in the order that we actually went around the shop, just because that was no, I say shop, it wasn't the shop, it was the gallery, but there was no real order to it. But yeah, so then I bought Janine Privé's Christmas piece. Now Trudy, the lady whose stall it was, she had stitched in the green. She'd used slightly different colours to this in hers, slightly brighter colours, but she stitched the green one, which I really like the look of. So I don't know whether to do a combination of red and greens, whether to do maybe all the words, so that, you know, the Merry Christmas, Bon Bouet. I don't know why I'm going to bother trying to say any of the other languages out, because I don't actually know how to pronounce them and I don't want to offend anybody by doing it wrong. But it basically says Merry Christmas in a variety of languages. So whether to do the actual words all in red and then everything else in green, or vice versa, I don't know. What do you guys think? She did say this border, she says this was a lot more work than it looked. She's the inside went really quick, you know, all the little motifs and the words. She's this border, she was like that just took forever. So yeah, so I might have to start with part of the border and then maybe do a bit and then do some of the and then do a bit rather than ending with the border like she had, because she said, yeah, that took its time. But yeah, so there is the colour list for both the green and the red in here. So it says on 14 count, it's going to be about 19 inches square. On 18 count, it's going to be about 15 inches square. But yeah, so that was quite quick. I don't really do holiday designs, but you know, I thought it'd be nice to have something at Christmas. I have got the Christmas sort of Stony Creek blanket that I'm going to be doing, you know, at some point when I have nothing else to do. And found this one on her stall as well, so that got from my mum. So this is Wise Wisdom, leaflet 255 from Stony Creek. So it's 2 hours, and then it's got wisdom, peace and hope in the middle. Obviously you can stitch it whichever way you want. I'm thinking I might stitch just one of the owls. I might make it into a patch to put on my guiding uniform, or to put in my stitchy diary or something, stitchy journal. But yeah, it's, so I've got hiccups now. It's 127 high and 47 wide. So, you know, not too big. So yeah, I think each, like the owl are just kind of 40-ish by 40. So quite small, which is quite cute. I ain't going to be able to really pile everything up on here, am I? I did not think this through. There we go. Right, and then I went round to, so this is Jane Greenoff's stall. So this is the Cross Stitch Guild. And I picked up a few kits from her. So I saw this, which actually is really cute. So this has got a little bit of hardang in it. And it's got a little spider, a spider's web. So this is enchanted 4-inch square. So it's that one. So it comes as a kit with the linen and all the threads. So I've got that one. And then I saw this one. This picture is horrendously bright. The picture's awful. If I bought it from I wouldn't have bought it from the picture, to be fair. But the colours are lovely. Sort of dusky colours, dusky spring. It is the Silverwood sampler. There's some cut work, some sampler work, some specialty stitches. It's kind of a long band sampler. So, so when I finish this, I might. So what does it finish up as? It's 40.5 inches by 5 inches. Which they haven't translated very well, because then in centimetres they put 103 by 40. And it's not 40 centimetres is not 5 inches, so but whatever, yeah, it's about 5 or 6 inches wide. So I might get Robin over on Crafty Emily's other half to make me a spool. Well, I suppose not particularly make me one. I'd just buy us, you know, a relatively sized one from her when that one comes. But yeah, so again, it came with the linen and all of the threads. And then I saw this, and again, this picture, the picture doesn't do it justice again, but this is a black work house sampler, but it's like an old sort of Edwardian house, I think, Victorian Edwardian house. There are some, it's in black and grey, and then there's some gold stitches in the border and that, and some gold black work on it. But there's that one. So it's, yeah, it's a sampler. So you've got the house, some sort of like gardens, like turnips, ferns, flowers, and that one looked really nice on the wall as well. Again, I wouldn't have bought it from the picture. So yeah, I know photographing pieces is really hard, but yeah, so that's one reason I like going to places like that, because you can see them in person and actually, yeah, they look really nice. So, and then whilst I was waiting for her to find those, because I basically pointed on the wall where they had the finished pieces, and I was like, oh, I like that one, and I like that one, and I like that one. And then she went off and actually found the kits and all the things. So I was looking for a little while for one of them, and I just couldn't find it. So in the end, I was like, you know what, you know where these are, can you get them? So yeah. And then whilst I was waiting, I saw this. So the strawberry book. So this was again a kit with the linen and all the threads. And it's like a sampler book. So you make it into a little booklet, and you stitch all the pages. And they have specialty stitches. They have like the hem stitch, some hardanger, some beadwork, pulled thread embroidery, and then some cross stitching over 1 and 2. But yeah, so that comes with, again, all the threads, sort of the fabrics, the ribbons, the beads, and everything in there. So so yeah, and again, I mean, I might not have bought it from the picture, because obviously the picture just shows the front page, but yeah, but these were really cute when I was flicking through them, so looking forward to making that one. It looks a bit choppy. There we go. So, oh yes, and this was actually one of the first places that I went to. So one of my friends, so she also has Ehlers-Danlos, same as I do. So that's how we got talking. And she's a designer. She's called Debbie Harding, and she designs under the name of Doodlecraft Designs. So my chessboard, my blackwork chessboard piece is hers. And I think my mum's also got it's like Snakes and Ladders, but it's dragons and beanstalks piece, and a backgammon board to do, neither of which she started, both of which she promised to start last time we spoke to Debbie, and she still hasn't, but this time she has promised again. So we'll have to keep nagging at her to make sure she starts that. but I bought a couple of her elements sections. So she's got 3 of the elements done so far. She's working on the 4th one. So I bought her fire piece. So this is all, so this is like a sun, starburst sun, and it comes as a kit with the sort of hand spun silk from Zoe, which is paint box threads. They work together, so they've got all the lovely silks there, the variegated colours and the beads. So yeah, this is worked on Ada. I might do it on linen, I might keep it on the Ada, I'm not sure. I will decide when it comes to it. So I got that one, and then I also got the earth version. So this baggie, I haven't done that yet. So this is the earth. So this is like a mandala style. So you've got the trees around, then all the leaves. Again, combination of cross stitch and black work. So, and then again, this has got the paint box threads. I'll take these out for you to look at. These are silks again, and there's a couple of sort of the plain colours, and then sort of the variegated. When I can work out how to actually hold them all without throwing them at you. So yeah, so all those lovely colours there. So yeah, so looking forward to them. So again, that one came with the 18 count Ada. Maybe I'll do that. And then my mum saw this one and decided she wants this in her bathroom. And she was like, oh yeah, you can do that for me, Zoe. There you go. So I got her seahorses as well. Again, full kit. This one is using DMC threads. So not sure whether I'll keep the colours of the 2 seahorses. Might change those. Our bathroom is kind of like dusky sort of sand colour and a dusky blue. Maybe not change those. But yes, again, combination of backstitch, black cross stitch and black work. But yeah, so they were all from Debbie's store. So, ooh. There we go. And then yeah, and then I went round to Zoe's stall. Oh, nah, I'm toppling. Oh, I did not think this though. Okay, there we go. And I went round to Zoe's stall to pick up some new threads. So I stitched, if any of you remember my the linen and threads. I think it's linen and threads. They do a free mystery sampler every year. At the minute they're doing like a is it Mexican tiles? Latina tiles? I don't know. But they do a free sampler every year. And a couple of years ago they did the peacock. It was a peacock in the middle around the edges. And I used one of Zoe's packs for all of that. It was actually called Peacock Tails. Was the packs. But yeah, so I picked up another couple of her packs this time. So this one is called Wild Mountain Thyme. So these are cottons. So 6 strands cottons, each one's 50 metres. One of these is, one strand of this is probably about as thick as a DMC. I tend to find they, you know, one strand of this on sort of 16 count is plenty. Probably wouldn't use one strand on 14 count. That might not be quite enough. I haven't got anything white. I need a white piece of paper. Haha. Right. Found a notebook. There we go. So these are the colours in there. So lovely teals, purples and pink on that one. And then I also got this set. This is sort of Indian summer. So this is just 6 lengths. So this is oranges, the yellows through to the purples. So that's that one. Again, this is the 6-strand cotton. But yeah, so I've got those. And then I saw she had like a rainbowy pack. I will deal with those later. And I thought, now I know that Emily is doing one of the long dog samplers. Is it Pontifex? It's called something like that. But she's doing it like as a rainbow in jewelled colours. And I saw some of these and I thought, oh, now this would be nice to do. Something, you know, one of a long dog sampler maybe, as a rainbow in these colours. But this wasn't quite a full rainbow. I was like, oh, there's not quite enough colours there and not quite enough sort of brighter colours. So this is her Into the Evening sort of set of the 15. And I'm going to add in all the other colours that I bought. Here we go, just about. So that was all the extra colours I added in. So to make it more of a, you know, add sort of like another yellow and a bit brighter pinks and some more purples. But yeah, so I haven't decided on what piece I'll use. I'm thinking of doing one of the samplers, you know, like that, sort of similar to how Emily's done it, you know, in the stripes, but not quite there yet. But yeah, so that was one, and I think that is all of the cross stitching supplies that I bought. Yeah, that's all the cross stitching. So then I've got a couple of stitchy bits. So my mum saw these, and this was the one that she was like, oh, you can make this for me, Zoe. So which one did she see? So there was enough for one if you got 3. So we picked out one each, and then it was if you get 3, you got the third one half price or something. So Mum quite likes the Robin one. So this is an embroidery kit. And then I quite liked the Fox one. So there we go. So it comes in a very loud crinkly packet, but you sort of get the printed on the canvas, pattern printed, and then you get the DMC threads, and obviously the hoop, and then you can finish it in the hoop as well. So yes, that's the Fox one. And then the third one we bought was a winter house scene for Christmas. So again, another Christmassy kit that I don't really Christmas, but yeah, that was they're in very loud crinkly packets. So then what else? Got that. Oh, I got a quilting iron. I did want to ask if anyone else had used one of these. Sort of had any recommendations on, you know, whether there's anything particular to do with a small iron, just for my quilting, like when I'm sewing, or to sort of straighten my flosses. If they're a bit too crinkly, I can just run the iron across them. But it's the Quilted Bear mini steam iron, as seen on TV, apparently so. And then the rest for it, you know, the heat-proof rest. Which actually has the little holes in, so I can hang that on my pegboard that my wall's on, which is really handy. Then, so knitting and crochet. So I hopped past the Toft store, and Toft do sort of all sorts of crochet patterns for animals. Kerry does at Toft. And I've done a couple of hers before. So my little cat that is on my handbag, that's one of her patterns. And I've also done a bunny rabbit and some piglets, and I think my sister at the minute is doing a kangaroo, so she's learning to crochet with one of those patterns, because Kerry does go through it all in the books. So I bought her small set, her minis set, so they're mini animals. So I've got the farm animals. I'm actually going to flick through and show you a couple of these because they're quite cute. So these are all animals that you would see on said farm, not necessarily like, you know, farming animals like sheep. So what did we have? Oh, we had a little snail. There's a little snail. Then, where is it? Come on. There's a fox in that one. So that's the farm book. And I also got the ocean animals, which we've got sort of sea urchins in there, seahorses, turtles, sharks. There's little turtles. There's a puffer fish in here somewhere. But yeah, what one caught my eye? I can't remember what it was that I saw. Well, it can't have, can it? Oh, and there's some Nemos. Ah, there it is, the penguin. Little penguin. Right. And then I got the pets book, of course, because there happened to be a Maine Coon pattern in here, which I got very excited about. Oh, there we go. I thought I'd bought some more greens. There's a couple more greens that I bought in that set of threads, you know, that rainbow. I thought I'd bought some more greens. But yeah, so there's a Maine Coon pattern here. Oh. But yeah, Maine Coon cat. There is also a tarantula pattern, which actually looks really cool, that I might have to make as well. It's in here somewhere. Now I can't find it. I'm sure it's in here. You watch, it's not going to be in here. You have to be a liar. And the axolotl that I saw. That's one that I saw that had been sort of pre-done that she had out. There's the tarantula. No. So yeah, actually it's on the back cover. I could have just showed you that. And then I've got the wild animals one, so I've got the full set of 4. What have we got in here? So there's rhino, lions, bears. There's a little sloth. It's crocodile on the back. So yeah, I think there's also a bat somewhere in one of these as well. A giraffe. But yeah, so I bought those, and then I bought a little pin that I might change. I might cut the back off and turn that into a little needle minder. So that's a little axolotl. So that's what I got from there. And Kerry actually signed all of these books for me, which was really sweet. So I got them all signed. Which I understand I'm probably the only person that's mildly excited by that, but you know. Then I passed a sort of bookstall, and I picked up this. It's the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, and some of the patterns in here are so intricate. They're gorgeous. I can't wait to make a jumper with some of these patterns in. Make some collars, all sorts. So yeah, there's so many patterns in there. And there's 260 patterns, cables, lace, flowers, borders, all sorts. So yeah, really looking forward to getting stuck in there. One thing that was actually the hardest to find, that I literally, the last stall that I saw had knitting needles. It was the hardest thing to find. I went up to like 3 different knitting stalls. One of them only had like a couple of 2 or 3 sizes that weren't the sizes that I wanted. And one of them was like, knitting needles was one thing we didn't bring. It was like, we came to the knitting and stitching show and just didn't bring needles. And like, I think he couldn't believe they'd forgotten them, you know. He was like, I can't, disgusting. But I found the needles. I did want them both in the long, but ended up having a shorter one. So I needed a 3.5 and a 2.5 for my grandma's cardie that I'm making. And surprisingly, 3.5 and 2.5 were the hardest ones to find. Like I could find like the quarters, so I could find like a 2.75 or a 3.25, but not the halves. And then I also bought them in the rounds as well, because I haven't decided whether I'm going to stitch the cardigan, like the front and the back, the 2 front panels and the back panel all in one. In which case I'll need a circular needle because it'll be a lot more stitches. So if I decide to do it like that, I'll do that on that one. And if I decide to just stitch it on the one, stitch each individually, the one set should be fine. And I'm a bit quicker on straight needles, so that's why I thought I'd get the straights if I decide to do that. And then I needed a small cable needle as well. It says my needles. And then at that same stall I saw this. Now I actually met a lady, a couple of ladies. So when we went to have sort of just a coffee at one of the little cafes, and it was really busy. There wasn't any tables, and there was kind of this one table where we saw a couple of ladies leaving. So there was 4 ladies on the table, and 2 of them left, and we went up and I was like, can we sit? Can we buy that? So yeah, and we sat down with them and got chatting, and then I think another lady joined us as well, so we got talking to her, and basically one of the ladies had just bought this book, and as I was looking through, she was flicking through, I said, this pattern for this section looked really intricate. So this section here looked just really intricate with all the pieces. And I said, oh, that would be, you know, really nice to do. And just flicking through the book. And then, yeah, and then when we happened to see the book, I picked it up. But yeah, and we were talking, and I said about doing lots of different projects and the reason why. And one of the ladies, the odd lady, was like, oh, do you keep a record of all the things you do? And I said, oh, yeah, I have a Flosstube channel. It's called Coco Creates. And this lady that had the book was like, oh, yes, I've seen you. I've seen those videos. And, like, it was exciting because someone was watching my videos, but also it was one of the most absolutely terrifying experiences I've ever had when it suddenly became real that, like, there's actual humans on the other side of this screen, not just like little people that live inside the internet. And it was kind of that moment of, oh, this is a real person that's seen me. I never actually asked that lady's name. If that lady happens to be watching, hello. So thank you for watching, and thank you for obviously telling me that you watch. It was really nice. And if you're not watching this video, then oh well, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, but yeah, if you drop me a comment, let me know your name. It would be really nice to know who it is, opposed to the lady I met while I was having coffee. But yes, so there we go. And I hope you didn't spoil it for your friend, because her friend that she was with was going to watch James Bond today, I believe. And obviously she'd already seen it, so she was trying to not spoil it for her. So yeah, so I hope your friend enjoyed watching that one. And I believe this is the last thing. It's the last thing on my pile, so I'm assuming it's the last thing I bought. It's a floral felt wreath project kit. So this company, which is called Wild and Green, they do a subscription box that you can join to, and they send basically different crafts every month for you to make something completely different. So they had some sort of like a card, sort of 3D card sculpture. They had the wreath. They had sort of like an embroidery project. They had some macrame, I believe. It's basically all different crafts, and you get different craft come each month with everything in here, all the equipment you need, all the instructions and everything for you to sit down and piece together. But on the day they were selling one-offs, so you know, you could buy just the odd kit, and then if you wanted to subscribe you could go on to do that. So yeah, this was the one I got. So yeah, 40. So I felt wreath. So I'm hoping to do this and put this on my gallery wall. But yeah, so just sort of keeps it, so like a metal ring, and then yeah, and then you sort of twisted metal, twisted wire to actually stitch it all together. So that looked quite fun to do. So yes, and it uses DMC golden stranded embroidery threads. That DMC gold floss, which I'm not looking forward to. Oh, hiccups. But yeah, so yeah, everything's in there. Step-by-step instruction booklet, a template sheet, the felt, the calico fabric, the DMC threads, the hoop, embroidery scissors, the crafting wire, a needle card with needles and pins, a white gel pen, a pencil, the PVA glue, and then on the website there are other video tutorials and you can go on the website and actually email. She said if you have any problems, so just drop us an email and we can walk you through certain pieces of it. So yeah, so that was it. So I'm going to have all the names of all the companies, the businesses that I went that I bought things from below in the description box. If you did want to go and have a look at other things they do, you can go there. But yeah, oh, I nearly forgot. See, I knew I'd forget something. It's because I left it in its bag. Now this, I saw this shawl from a distance, a sampler shawl. There is a bit of picture in there. So it's like a circular shawl, and it looked so soft, so delicate. I'm assuming it's knitted in the round, but I haven't actually looked at the pattern properly yet. This shawl is big, round and easier to knit than it looks. So obviously we'll see if it is. And between the lady at the stall and my mum, they convinced me to buy some of the wool. So I actually bought a cone instead of the hank, because they're like, oh, you need like eight hanks, or one cone is the equivalent of like 16 hanks, but it was the same price. So I got the cone, and this is Suri silk. So they basically, the lady that was doing the stall, she grades the wool. She has the alpacas and grades the sort of the, is it called wool when it's not from a sheep? I'm assuming it is. So well, she grades the alpaca fur, and then it goes off and it's spun, and then obviously she has someone that spins it and someone that designs patterns for her. So they have a website. It's ukalpaca.com. So this is 100% Suri alpaca. So it's a cream and brown marled wool. So it's so soft. So I did question her because this wool looked so fine. And she was like, oh, it's 4-ply. I'm like, really? Because then compared to the 4-ply ball, I was like, it's not the same. And she basically reassured me. She said, this is because this hasn't been steamed. Whereas it comes off the cones and it's steamed, sort of treated as they put it into balls. She says, but basically that would happen when you wash it. So, and when you wash and block it. So she says, you'll stitch it like this. So she says, treat it as the 4-ply, as the fingering weight. So it's not 4-ply, it's 2-ply. So, but treat it as fingering weight yarn. She says, and then when you wash and block it, it'll fluff up. So I'm taking her word for it that that will be. So so yes, it might be a bit different to knit with, because obviously it is a lot finer, and I'm going to be using it as a fingering weight. Just for visuals, where did I put that other ball? That pink. Oh, come on. You were here literally 4.5 minutes ago. Please hold on. Okay. So just so you can sort of see what I'm talking about, this is the wool that I bought from Doodlecraft. This is marketed as fingering weight. I think it's sold as something else. I can't remember. I think it's called something else, but it's basically it's fingering weight. And then this is the cone, and these are the same weight. And so hopefully you can see. Where did my notepad go? So hopefully you can see what I meant about the thickness. So there, can you see how this one seems a lot thinner compared to the purple, even though they're both fingering weight? Yeah. So she says you need to sort of gauge it as if it was the fingering when you're stitching, so that then once you wash it, it will fluff up to a thicker weight. I mean, I suppose I could sort of skein it. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? I suppose I could sort of skein it off and actually wash it before, you know, and then it would fluff up, and then I could use it and knit with it, and then obviously wash it again when I block it. But I'm quite confident, you know, just to stitch it as is. So yes, it's got a lovely smell to it. It's not perfumed. It's you know, but it smells like, you know, it smells like the animal. It smells like an animal's fur, if that makes sense. Like it's not a bad smell. You know, it's that sweet smell of animal fur. You know, when you're sort of petting a cat or something, you can sort of smell that sweetness. But yeah, so you can tell that's where it's from. And then I also saw this wool. This is the baby alpaca. So this is 80% baby alpaca and 20% Tussa silk. So this is a worsted weight. Is it worsted weight? It says worsted. No, it's worsted spun. It's still a fingering weight. There we go. Yeah, 4-ply fingering. I'll say it looks fingering-ish. But yeah, so I got this in the navy blue and the gold because these two colours just look gorgeous together. They did have a pattern where they'd used them together in such a way that it didn't quite work, but I have an idea for a nice shawl that's going to use these as they are. So soft and squidgy. But yeah, so that's in the French navy and chartreuse. But yeah, so looking forward to some new projects, you know, when I have some needles spare for some new projects. But yes, so that's definitely, so that's their alpacas they keep. To say where they are, Devon. The feast run annually. Yeah. But yeah, so they're in Devon, UK alpaca, and there is their website and all their details just at the bottom there. But yeah, like I said, I'll pop all the shop details below, shop names for everyone, and try and get this back in there. So yes, now I believe that is everything. Yes. Oh, and that was my new project bag from Toft that they put the books in for me. But yes, so now I can have some cold coffee because it's been sat here for like half an hour because I forgot about it. But yeah, so that's all my goodies. So thank you for watching, if you still are. So thank you for watching all my shopping. But yeah, so I have lots of new projects to start in the future. I'm not sure what one I'm going to start first or when I'm going to start any of them. Obviously, you know, I have finished a few things this year, so my WIP list has gone down a little bit. And yeah, and I don't really want it to grow still. Towards the end of the year I will be doing a WIP parade again. And obviously I'll go through and see, because there may be some projects that I don't really want to still be working on. I know there's a lot of projects that I literally haven't touched this year at all. And that's, so it's basically going through and deciding, do I still want them? Do I still want to be working on them? Or do I just not love them as much anymore? So, because then if there are some that I just don't really love, I want to give them away to someone that will love them. So I might have a few sort of WIPs that I'll be gifting. So if someone wants to either carry on with my WIP or restart it. But yeah, so that might be something sort of towards the end of the year, in the new year, when I do my WIP parade, and I'll bring everything out and go through everything. Because I know I've got a lot of WIPs that I'd sort of started, I think, last year in the 24 hours of cross stitch that I did. So the first one that Jen Lee did, that she hosted, and I started a new WIP every hour. And I've got some that I literally haven't touched since then. So that's what, 18 months I've not touched them, and they've got like 50 stitches in. So yeah, so I need to go through and decide what I want to colour, and then next year I might actually have space to start some of these. Maybe, fingers crossed. But yes, so thank you for watching, like I said. So yeah, so thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around with me. I hope you managed to have a good drink or some stitching. I know I tend to watch a lot of Flosstube whilst I'm stitching, so I hope you got lots of progress done. And thank you for sticking with me all this time. And yeah, so I will, I am hoping, I need to work out how to do it, I think, but I'm hoping to do a Stitch With Me. It might not be a Stitch With Me live because I think you need 1,000 subscribers to be able to stream live, like from my phone, and my computer doesn't have a webcam, so so I need to work out how to do that. But it might not be live, but I'm hoping to do a Stitch With Me again soon, maybe this month, with a project. If you would like to, you know, if you'd like to watch that, if you have a particular preference on the project, obviously let me know below. And yeah, so I will see you soon. Obviously, if I don't see you for the Stitch With Me, I will see you at the end of the month, start of November, when I do my next video. So yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll say I love you lots, and bye bye, see you soon.